All right, welcome everybody, one and all, to the 2020 Tarqaron Blastia Awards. All right.
Yes, welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. Thank you all for tuning in. And we are not doing this live. We can't do it live, due to certain restrictions.
Yeah, purely political,
Purely,
but
purely, purely
it's
political.
all right. It's all right. We're abiding by them nonetheless. They did let us use this empty stage. We got a spotlight here, but we were tested in advance. There will be no one in the audience. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Kind of nice. They even gave us some drinks too to go along with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you, yeah. So you get some brisk there. I got some cider.
They just handed
They
us the two
they
random drinks they could
yeah,
find.
they catered. They know what we want. That's just how catered it is to us.
Proud to say that we are sponsored this evening by Brisk iced tea, the lemon flavor specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley wishes that he was sponsored by Brisk
I
and by
know.
Down East Cider. He
I
uh
know.
he he's instead must suffer through Mountain Dew and Doritos. Um
So,
but
in case you weren't with us last year for the first annual Blastia Awards, it was a different time back then, 2019. Let me tell you,
mm,
we had a full packed audience. Everyone had their phones out. It was crazy,
mm,
and that was like only a couple of months before the pandemic hit, really.
I know,
But
it's wild,
the
right?
Blastia Awards are an award show to honor moments of our own and videos that we did, and we are also the hosts of the awards show for. There's no conflict of interest here
Yeah.
whatsoever. It's a purely objective panel who's voted
That's
on and
that's right.
determined the
Yeah.
winners,
A panel of our peers, you could say.
who
Um
resemble us both physically and in personality. They determine the best
that's
outcomes
right.
and the nominees. All right, so we got a bunch of awards to get to.
I know.
That will
We should
span a
just
lot of different things.
it's gonna we're gonna go through some memories, some crazy times. We're gonna have a really good time, really good show ahead of you, folks. We don't have any world premieres this time, but we
We should
but
have.
we
Oh shoot, dude! Next year we'll have world premieres of like
yeah,
we just have a bunch of videos locked up and waiting.
yeah. Next year, look forward to some world premieres. But for now,
We're here
Zach,
to
why don't you?
celebrate 2020. You know, a
That's
great
right.
year.
What it
For
was, yeah, a spectacular year. Yeah, we weren't missing a few months out of the year or anything like that. It was a stellar year,
yeah.
our best output ever,
Look,
in terms of
the
in terms
the
of
it. I mean, I feel like we're in an upward trajectory. You know, 2019 was we were in a rougher state than we are now. I think we've improved generally, you know, quality
in
wise, and
our
there's
quality for sure. Yeah,
and we
we
still put
still.
out a lot of content. But the
Hmm.
world had to suffer for it.
Yeah,
So there's a bit of a balance there. There's a give and
the world
take.
suffered for our sake.
All right, so the first award this evening is going to be the best shared experience. This award is going to go to an experience of something we reviewed that we enjoyed having this shared experience of. So for it might be new for both of us or new for one of us, but the fact that we came together on Tarkron for it to talk about it. These are our nominees: Hamilton.
There's nothing you can say that will take away from the fact of how much of a phenomenon this show has been,
Yeah.
and will continue to be, for sure. So
Yep. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10 too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Silence of the Lambs. You have
Yeah.
freaking Dr. Chilton. Is a whole other story though.
Oh, geez, yeah.
He was like slimy from the beginning.
He was like the
I
worst.
knew
Oh
I knew
yeah.
he was no
Oh
good.
yeah. I saw that and I was like, ugh, I don't like him at all. I was like, don't say things like that to somebody you just met, you weirdo. Ew.
The Haunting of Bly Manor. And I was surprised by how different this show feels. Like
Oh,
it
it's
feels
super.
like
Yeah,
so different.
it's super different. Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
like I found The Haunting of Hill House to be more like I was more on edge the whole time.
Yeah.
Like there's some freaky stuff in here, but I wasn't on edge. Like I was just like I don't know. It was a different tone entirely almost. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love
Yeah.
this movie. It's I'll hold it
excellent.
near
I
and
think
dear.
I think I'm glad I've seen it. I feel there is an air of melancholy about it, but it's like one of those things that's like, you know what, this is I felt good. I felt better coming out of it.
And The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts? First impressions.
I loved this movie.
And the winner of the best shared experience of 2020 is Hamilton.
Oh yeah, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Give it up. Give it up. Give it up to Hamilton.
This is almost like a preliminary video to the season of Giving, where it was like almost like one you presented to me, even though you had not technically seen, the version they put onto Disney Plus. You were a big Hamilton fan leading
Prior
up to it,
yeah,
and then now I'm into it. Now I've listened to songs countless times. We both gave it a perfect 10. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it is art, and I think that I was more than happy to share that with you. Super happy that it was on that a film version of it was made. That they filmed the actual Broadway performances, and very happy to have that to be able to watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
so,
and I had never heard any of the songs before, so it was a fresh experience for me just to see it all play out.
and that's awesome. Yeah, you can't get much better than that.
Hell yeah.
So, alrighty.
What's our next award?
So our next award is our iconic character of the year. Now, in whatever things that we watched or played or had enjoyed over the year, maybe we didn't enjoy, but there were some iconic characters that we encountered throughout the year. So the nominees for iconic character of the year are Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic the Hedgehog. Thomas Jefferson from Hamilton, John Milton from The Devil's Advocate, Elliot the Dog Catcher from Lady and the Tramp, Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, and Frank Simmons from Cursed Mountain. And the Blastia goes to John Milton, The Devil's Advocate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We
hell
love
yeah.
the devil
Literally
around
hell
here.
yeah.
We love the devil around here. Let it be known.
Yeah, I mean, this movie sort of it was a kind of an odd, interesting film, and I think, yeah, I mean, Al Pacino was just insane in this movie. Like he was just chewing the scenery. This character was just wild and kind of sinister, but it built up to this like wild climax, and I mean, you really just kind of have to see.
I mean, there certainly was a climax at the end there, and it was disturbing on multiple levels. Let me just tell you, there was a lot going on in that final scene.
There was a lot to that, for sure.
It was really heating up, that's for sure. Towards the end there,
getting infernal.
Honestly, we know a lot of you wrote in, and we're probably upset that Elliot the Dog Catcher did not win this award, but
yeah,
I
think he probably some folks may think he even got robbed, but I was holding in there for Frank Simmons. He was the dark horse.
Frank, but, all over the internet, he's been canceled multiple times.
Yeah, he really has.
He really disrespects every culture he comes.
Yeah, he just doesn't like cultures, But
other than that, there's some great options in there.
Indeed. So Zach, take away the next Blastia Award.
This was a fan favorite award from last year's Blastias, and it is the most iconic Tarqaron moment of 2020. All right, just celebrating moments in time throughout any of the videos we posted over the year. The nominees for most iconic Tarqaron moment are discussing VTubers from our September 2020 favorites video.
I was like, I need to simp. Are you simping? I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've super chatted a few times, so I guess if that's simping, then that's simping.
This isn't a real girl, right? This is virtual.
No, she's a real girl.
She's a virtual girl.
Okay,
though.
so this is the thing, and this is the thing. This is gonna be a really long. This is a very long September favorites thing, but I mean, I guess it will helpful for people who don't understand this whole thing that's kind
very
of
informative.
taking over the internet in
Just
in its
just
weird
like the
way.
presidential debate, 17% say this was informative.
Is that really what?
Yeah.
Is that really a statistic?
This is a
Oh, that's
CBS
sad.
poll.
Oh, it was
69% said they were annoyed.
69%?
Yeah.
Nice.
The origin of Produce Ryan from Survivor Pearl Islands. Brian S. Produce
Ryan
clerk.
S.
Welcome.
Get some produce clerk representation.
Hell yeah.
Or are we better off with the limp noodle, Ryan?
The limp noodle.
But I don't fit in here with the girls. I don't fit in with the boys.
All he knows is produce. That's all he talks about.
Skinny Ryan. He just hasn't been pulling his weight.
Skinny Ryan.
For it, the challenge.
Wet noodle produce
Nicole.
fuck. Alex 180 on Silence of the Lambs from the Silence of the Lambs review.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9.5. This movie is extremely good.
I feel like in the beginning of this review, I feel like you were not at a 9.5.
No, I don't think I was, but like I said, I think as we've been talking and as I've sort of synergized the film in my head, this movie's great.
Arthur's vote out in Tarqaron All Stars. That
Padme,
means
Padme or Sonic are out.
Padme is
then.
so screwed, right? She
think
won
so.
2 immunities too.
Yeah, now they're like, yeah, we gotta get rid of her.
Oh man, you hate to see it. Maybe something crazy will happen, but nothing happened.
It's gonna be a. Yeah.
All right, I will read the votes. Alec. Arthur. 1 vote Alec, 1 vote Arthur.
What? Where'd that come from?
Arthur.
What?
Arthur.
What?
Alec. That's 3 votes Arthur, 2 votes Alec.
What is happening right now?
Arthur. Arthur, the tribe has spoken. And Pestro wanting Ellie to smile in Box Art Battles Episode 3.
I don't like the fact that she looks like sad, like kind of like.
Well, you want her to be happy. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. I think it's more like unsure, or I don't necessarily think it's sad, but it's definitely serious. It's definitely a serious look.
Concerned. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I see that, I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those.
It's gonna be one of those.
And it is.
Sad girl
it is
kinda
one.
games.
It is one of those games. It's not lying about that.
Yeah, so it's like, do you want to play this game with us? She's looking at you. Do you want to play this? It's fun.
Yeah.
And the winner of the most iconic Tarqaron moment of the year goes to the origin of Produce Ryan, Survivor Pearl Islands.
Produce Ryan. Produce Ryan. He man.
There was just something that resonated with me so much when I saw that like his profession was produce clerk, and then it's like, because they always like to tie in their profession with how they interact in the world. So it's like he became a character, even though he never did anything to indicate it, that he would just like talk about produce all the time, and he's so out of sorts because he's not around his produce, you know. And unfortunately, he had a short-lived time on the island, but we enjoyed him thoroughly.
We did, and we still make reference to him to this day on our Survivor and some of our Survivor reactions. I mean, I think that what was I mean, they called him Skinny Ryan, but we were just like, nah, it's Produce Ryan. Produce Ryan. And I think the thing that made it all the more like, I don't know, to me it was almost more funny because like he just couldn't ever find his footing in the tribe. So it was like, it just is amusing to like build this headcanon behind the scenes of like why he's on the outs exactly. And it's not just because he's like kind of a wimp or whatever, or he looks kind of manic in all the shots they show of him, where he's just like off by himself doing like, yeah, I'm looking for my produce over here, or whatever. But yeah, it was just kind of a culmination of a random sense of humor that we tend to have, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
If you want to see where it all started, you can go to Episode 1 of Pearl Islands, which I named Produce Ryan Origin. I was inspired by the Todoroki episode of My Hero Academia with that one.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well compare one of the best survivors that's ever played the game and one of the best characters in stellar shonen anime. Yeah.
Brodus Ryan famously said that he had the most pressure of any survivor in a challenge ever, or
Yeah,
something.
he did.
Something
He
along
did
those
say
lines.
that. He did say something like
So it was really.
uh,
Imagine if he was the winner. It would be such a great origin story for him.
what a redemption. That like Rob's redemption arc,
From
except
produce-
an actual
From
yeah.
produce to millionaire.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah. So,
All right.
alrighty.
What's our next award? Surely something great. to talk
Something maybe not so great. We do have to give a raspberry, our version of the raspberry, out to the worst new thing. So that was we came across some stinkers this year, and of course we want to highlight that because while we do like watching things and experiencing things that are excellent, we got a soft spot for some bad crap too. So the nominees for the Blastia for the worst new thing are Alien Origin. Yeah, so this movie is basically nothing. It has doesn't really have a plot at all other than a bare bones alien kills people, I guess, for some reason. And
Yes.
or something kills people for some reason that I guess is an alien. That's about it. This movie is nothing. Doolittle.
My life is different now.
We're about to embark on this perilous journey.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you can see the title. We went and saw the best movie of 2020 so far.
So far.
And Mulan, the 2020 remake.
I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't accomplish anything I wanted it to. It didn't check off any of the boxes I was looking to get checked off, and I felt like it was an altogether useless movie. I went and watched the original Mulan earlier today just so I could reference and try to remember what changes were made exactly. I'm like, yeah, wow, the new movie is really unnecessary after watching the original.
And the winner of the Blastia goes to Alien Origin.
Yes. Some of you might be confused, so you don't even know what that is.
What's
and
Alien
we
Origin?
implore you
Is
to
that
all
Prometheus?
go and check out that film. It's available on Amazon Prime Video. For sure, give it some love. But
yeah, go watch it for sure. You definitely want to spend your time to watch the movie.
let's just say we didn't choose to watch this movie. It was randomly chosen for us to watch.
It was
in chance time.
It was
And
during horror month, so as the wheel was feeling like cursing us at that period
very
of time.
cursed moment in time.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, if you can even call it a movie.
Yeah, I think it's probably the worst I've ever seen, and I
Yeah.
doubt we'll see one worse in all our time
Yeah.
with Tarqaron. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
almost
it's-
confident in saying that.
It'd be pretty hard to top it, honestly. But
Yeah, yes,
for
it's
sure.
rough.
Yeah.
It's
What
rough.
was the name? Sorry, do you remember what the name
I
of
don't.
the? It was like,
The one that
always
she's
forget.
yelling, or the guy's
yeah,
yelling.
the guy's
Yeah.
yelling like Alice. I don't know if that's Alice, but could be anything.
No, it's
Anyway,
yes. There's
what
a
is-
lot of lore that goes into that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
very
yeah.
deep.
So much. It's very deep. Very deep. Yeah. So Zach, what is the next Blastia up for contention?
All right, so the next one is going to be the surprise of the year, which we like to highlight because, Tarqaron, we review a lot of things by choice, but we also have a lot of things that we kind of fall into, or some hidden gems we fall upon, just random things that happen through chance time and things like that. And I wanted to highlight some of those things. So the nominees for surprise of the year are High Score, The Dead Grandma Lie in Survivor Pearl Islands Episode 11, Alien Origin, and The Devil's Advocate. And the winner of the Blastia Award for Surprise of the Year goes to The Dead Grandma Lie in Survivor Pearl Islands.
Gotta give it up. Give it up. Survivor came in so hot this year. I mean, I know I can speak for. Feel like I can speak for both of us that it was some of the most fun I've had watching the show with you so far. Was in Pearl Islands. Amazon was very fun too, but Pearl Islands was just so much fun. This moment was. I still think about this moment like a lot, and I'm just like, wow, that's just such a wild twist.
It's an iconic television moment, an iconic Survivor moment.
Yeah.
So if you don't
for
watch
sure.
Survivor, it's a moment in time where Johnny Fairplay famously has his buddy come in for the family visit and tell him that his grandma passed away, and so he gets the sympathy of his tribe mates, and he actually does use it to maneuver a couple of votes potentially afterwards, puts himself in a better position. So it's like, not only is it just iconic for the drama of it all and how they presented it in editing, but it's actually just like a really cutthroat move too. It's like,
Yeah, like really just,
and it's thinking outside of the box like we've never seen before in the show. You know, something that you always see is outside of the game when the family comes in. You know,
yeah,
there's an element of strategy in there.
for sure. It was very, very good play. Wow, I definitely would never pull anything like that.
That's,
So,
I mean, that's a big surprise in general. High
Yeah.
score was a surprise because we kind of didn't expect much from it, and we ended up really enjoying it. Alien Origin
Alien
was
Origin
a
was a
surprise. and the
bad
opposite.
surprise.
And The Devil's Advocate was just wild all around. So
Yeah, just crazy. So,
all right, what's the next?
so next we like the highlight. Oftentimes me and Zach can be pretty similar minded in certain things, but there are times where we can get a little heated, a little opposite on opposite ends of the spectrum, and so we do like to want to highlight what we consider our most heated review of the year, where things were not always cut and dry in terms of what we were giving review scores to. So the nominees for the Blastia for the most heated review of the year: Sonic the Hedgehog.
We saw Doolittle.
Yeah,
That movie was awful.
yeah. And
This movie is nowhere near that bad. And in fact, I would say that this movie is actually good. I would not say it is great. I would not say it is exceptional. I would not say it is much more than slightly above average. But I enjoyed myself, and I felt like it was a good movie, which I did not expect to say
This is
leaving
wild.
the theater.
This is wild.
Yeah, I didn't
can't
expect
believe
this.
I can't believe I'm in the minority in this. I came out of that movie and I checked the internet and I was like, oh no.
No, everybody likes this movie, and I can totally understand why.
I can't.
Lady and the Tramp.
I don't want to say I was like blown away because I wasn't, but I was actually pleasantly surprised with how fun this movie was.
Okay.
I'll kind of like leave it at that
Okay.
for now.
So I'm probably the
Alex
exact
feeling differently. Okay.
yes. So I'm probably the exact opposite of your experience because Lady and the Tramp was one of the VHS tapes we did have.
Okay.
I didn't watch it a ton, probably not as much as some of the other ones, but I definitely grew up with it. I really liked the original Lady and the Tramp. I always thought it was very sweet, very cute because it's got these little dogs, and I've always really enjoyed that film. This was a bloated, poorly paced.
Yikes.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I can't say I hated it.
Mulan. Okay, here's the thing though. Would you prefer? Well, I prefer them just not make a movie at all. But would you prefer that they do what they did with The Lion King and make it almost shot for shot remake of the original film, or would you rather them try something different? Even if it fails, they're at least trying something. In your opinion, anyway. If it fails, at least they're trying to make it unique, and they're not just making the same movie again. Because this to me is not making the same movie again. They made a very different film.
Right. I mean, I get that. Yeah. In theory, yes. I would want something different, but in order to make
And I would say this is pretty different.
In order to make something different, you have to take out the heart, though. I mean, what happens when you take out a heart? It dies, dude. It dies.
I don't think they took the heart out. The heart of the story is still there. The Devil's Advocate.
That's a pretty high score. That's a pretty high score.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I thought it was a well-acted, good movie. I mean, I didn't think it was phenomenal, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I would consider 7.5 for me as a movie I would rewatch. That I wouldn't mind rewatching.
I mean, okay.
But you would.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had my fill of it. I don't need to see it again. Maybe I'd watch key scenes from it again. Maybe that like last scene I'd watch again.
Okay, that's gonna give us a 7 out of 10. Tarqaron score.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And Howl's Moving Castle. They're after you. They're after you because you gave Howl's Moving Castle a 7. It's an emergency, all right. That's an emergency going on over there. Oh my gosh, what? The winner, Lady and the Tramp.
Wow. I love that.
Wow. Yeah.
Shout out to
Wow.
Rusty for being present for that one.
Yep.
Look,
He
so
sure was.
all these nominees were the ones where we had the most differing opinions, I feel like. Most of the other reviews were generally in the same direction. Like, we were in general agreement. These ones, there was some actual disagreement. And, you know, on paper, Sonic the Hedgehog was probably the biggest score difference. But
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, we also had me and Rusty were united in opposition to Alex's opinion.
Yeah, I felt like on a couple of these too, that the score didn't necessarily reflect how in the discussions that we had, we were still pretty apart. Particularly like Howl's Moving Castle, you know, you and me were not on the same page with that. Same thing with Mulan. I definitely tended to be a little bit more favorable. Well, you know.
In retrospect, I would have given it a lower score than what it was.
Me too, honestly, probably. But same with the Devil Advocate for me, definitely. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah. No, it's one of the reasons why we like. It's fun to just talk about these things. You know, sometimes it's fun to be able to just bounce your ideas and kind of your perspective off someone else, and that's why we continue to come back to movies and games and all that.
And with the way that we do our Tarqaron reviews, we like try to talk about it as minimally as possible beforehand, so that it's like fresh. We don't know what the other person's thinking going into it.
We don't want to taint each other's perspective.
It's always kind of surprised going into it when we do have such a difference in opinion. Usually we're generally in the same wavelength. But I think we can both agree now that Lady and the Tramp is the greatest live-action Disney remake ever made.
No, not at all. I don't.
So I think we can move forward and rest easy with that.
Yeah. Nope. All right. Well, take us on. We're coming down.
Coming to some of the big ones.
Some big categories here. So, Zach, what is the next category?
Next category is going to highlight our favorite series of the year. We like to get into the business of doing series, and this year we did a couple of different ones, and there's a lot there. Like, I always find it nice to have a series to go back to, and we've over the past couple of years now we have a lot we've accumulated. But in terms of 2020, the nominees for favorite series of the year are Survivor, The Amazon,
Fresh horizons, new seasons, new adventures in the Amazon.
Yeah, it's always exciting starting a new adventure. And, you know, like you said, in Survivor, there's a certain formula always expected, but the quality is very dependent on the cast and how things play out. So you never know. You're always going to have duds. Like, Thailand could be considered a dud, but there's still redeeming moments of every season. I still very much enjoyed the experience going through Survivor Thailand. It was our first time being able to go through every episode, talk about each episode. Survivor Pearl Islands. Should be said, I haven't actually seen this season, but I do know the results. I do know some iconic moments from it, but I haven't actually watched any of the episodes, so.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It will be, in a way, at first, but I can't comment or speculate still. Month of Horror. Look, I'm dressed up as Luigi. It's the we're entering our horror month, so we're gonna have all horror themed videos. Well, it'll be like 90% horror themed, and then it'll be like Survivor and other stuff. But
I'm in my Riku thing coat.
Pester was dressed as a guy wearing an X-Files t-shirt. And the season of giving. Hello, season's greetings, Alec.
Season's greetings, indeed. It is Christmas time, and as a sort of tribute, or in the spirit of the season, we came up with an idea of something. What's one way we can sort of gift something to each other? And Zach came up with this really cool idea. Well, we're always want to watch movies. We always want to try new things, experience new. films, and thankfully there's actually a surprising amount that we both haven't seen, but we have come across films that one of us has seen, the other hasn't. We're kind of been trying to like figure out a good way to kind of go into how do we go into how to share that. So, given that this is the season of giving, this is a great way to sort of give new sort of movie watching experiences to the other person. So, so we each picked 2 movies, and so we're going to be each in the 4 weeks here of December.
And the winner for our favorite series of the year goes to Survivor Pearl Islands.
Yeah, you didn't see it coming, did you?
You never see it
coming. But yeah, Survivor, like I was saying earlier, Survivor has honestly been killer for both of us this past year. We've been just having so much fun watching, doing reactions to it. So it did seem stacked in its favor, but we did also want to highlight our seasonal sort of things that we did towards the end of the year. The season of giving was sort of the brainchild of Zach. It was just a really great idea, and it's something we will probably continue to do in the future. It was just sort of this idea where we share things that we both enjoy to the other person. And Horror Month is again something that we will like to continue, because October, a lot of spooky times. Everybody likes that.
I'm glad how that worked out, because we were able to get some diversity in there too. There was like a horror movie, horror chance time, horror game, and horror box art battles were the main ones we did.
Yeah, so we did a lot of variety in there, and that we definitely wanted to highlight that as well, because it's fun. But Pearl Islands, man, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Honestly, I just loved it so much.
We got so much out of there, like players that we love, moments that we love, and all around great episodes. So that brings us to the crown jewel, the best picture of the Tarqaron Awards, basically.
Favorite video of the year is our kind of our final major category. We'll have a little extra at the end, but
so this isn't like the best video of the year. It's the one we enjoyed the most.
That's right, the one we enjoyed the most. So we do want to highlight these videos. The nominees for the Blastia for favorite video of the year are Tarqaron All-Stars.
Alec, welcome.
Welcome indeed. Welcome one and all to what's sure to be a very interesting episode of this show.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. In case you have never seen something like this, there's like a popular Survivor podcast that's done this before, so we're not the first to do it, but it is built around all the characters from many of the reviews we've done over our first year of our channel.
The Tarqaron Cross Otaku Brothers gift exchange.
Sorry for all. Okay, this is seriously a box of sand. You are crazy, Zach. Okay, so this says.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. You are crazy person. But there's actually a game hidden in here that he is so perfectly sealed in his Ziploc bag. So
you actually give them sand? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Survival Pearl Islands Episode 6, Rupert's Island.
How about that one?
How about that one?
How about that one? I'm in the right here, okay, John? I've been standing around yapping, and now I'm in the right.
Just read it. Do it. Walk away. I will. Good.
Lady and the Tramp review.
It was great. It was great. The dog catcher was great. It's so awesome.
I don't think he's great. I don't
Dr.
like
Ken
him.
was great. Iconic.
Oh,
Dr.
phenomenal.
Ken's 10 whole
What a
seconds,
performance.
man. He makes an impact.
What a performance.
Best supporting
from
actor next year, for sure.
Yeah.
Ken. The
He should
rat.
have been nominated this year.
The rat
The
is
rat.
the only thing keeping it from a perfect 10. All right,
Wow.
knocked it down 2
That
points.
docks 2 full points.
I agree.
And our favorite games of the decade.
It's really, really awesome. I'm glad they're doing a direct sequel, because I'm like, I wouldn't mind this being just the future of Zelda, really, and do this with more Nintendo series. I wouldn't mind that either.
I totally agree with you. I agree with you so much that that's actually my number 2 game.
Yes.
Is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
And the Blastia for favorite video of the year goes to Tarqaron All Stars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
give it
yeah.
up. Give it up.
If you haven't watched this one, it's definitely worth checking out. In terms of Tarqaron expanded universe, you could say. It's just like it's a culmination of all the videos and things we did in the first year. We had all characters put into a survivor simulation, and we got to watch it play out live and commentate on it as if it was a season actually going on. It was great.
Yeah, it was honestly we were talking about like what would win here. Everything it was very valid, but I think you really have to give it up to this. This is honestly still to this day one of my favorite things that we've done on the channel. It was just very fun. Even just running a simulation, on paper you don't necessarily think it's the most exciting thing, but I had so much fun doing it. I know Zach had a lot of fun as well. Just a lot of laughs were had for sure. Some twists and turns for sure.
We could really break down and analyze the gameplay too. Try to make sense of everything.
It was a lot of fun. Making a story, we were kind of having to form a narrative out of it, and it was a lot of fun getting to do that. So
it's definitely
give
it'll
that
be
video
top
a
of
watch.
mind especially if you're a Survivor fan as well. It's like top of mind of what I would recommend you watch to get a sense, because especially if you're new to Tarqaron, it introduces you to a lot of what we've done.
Yeah,
we also,
it's a big part of our channel. Yeah. So
we also had a draft video beforehand where we picked our tribes for it.
That's right.
And so we'll likely do it annually is the plan. So we'll have a Tarqaron All Stars 2 coming up this year. So that'll be
look
great.
forward to that.
All right, so that was our best picture basically, but
It is, yeah.
there was one little bonus award at the end of the Blastias I'd like to throw in there. Annually, I've done this now. It's always a tradition here in the Blastias.
A long-standing tradition, yeah.
And that's the Beauty of the Year, which was it's a response to the Cutie of the Year, which is an award that Alec will give out every season of Survivor.
You could call this the Estelise?
Yes.
The Estelise Award?
It's highlighting what does it highlight? It's just it's purely subjective, my opinion.
Yep, that's basically
There's not much to this award, but it's there. All right.
No input from me at all, by the way. This is all his.
Last time I hadn't made a decision going into it, so it was I threw the nominees out there and we talked about it. But this time I have it prepared ahead of time, so it's a surprise. All right. but I mean it's something, and since we do have the Cutie of this season for every Survivor season, the Survivor castaways are not eligible for this award. And the nominees for Beauty of the Year are...
I don't know any of these.
I think it's pronounced Lou Ife, who played Hua Mulan.
Okay.
Victoria Pedretti, who played Danny Clayton in The Haunting of Bly Manor. Tahira Sharif, who played Rebecca Jessel in The Haunting of Bly Manor. And Kate Winslet, who played Clementine Krasinski from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And the winner is Dua Lipa. Okay, no, never mind. Not Dua.
That's like, oh, you threw me for a loop
if
there.
Dua Lipa was qualified, I'd put her in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could. Then I could just
Not
put
qualified?
anybody from anything I talked about.
Okay.
She was on a favorites, a monthly favorites thing.
She was.
But I like to be a shared thing. So the winner is Kate Winslet. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. I was actually really unsure of this one.
Well, classic there a little bit.
Love her. Love her.
She's great.
But I love all of these women and Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa would win easily though. So all right.
So she was withheld from being nominated.
Yeah. She would win every year because I'll probably talk about her every year, and she'll always be my favorite.
It's true. And what fun is that? What fun is that?
So thank you for joining us for our digital streaming event
Yeah.
for the Blastias this year. Hopefully this time next year we'll be able to be in a place where we can have the audience again and all breathe on each other and maybe touch each other a little bit.
We're gonna have vaccination requerequirements, so
you also present your vaccine card.
That's right. Yeah, your vaccine ID.
Let us know what you thought. Are you outraged by any of the results of this award show?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little heated that the most heated review didn't go to Howl's Movie Cast. No, not really.
Wow, really? There's a full-on disagreement happening here.
Yeah, wow. I'm one angry gamer right now.
So 2021 hopefully will be a great year for us at Tarqaron.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to come back next year with such a freaking amazing award show because we can't even contain all the amazing things we did within the awards.
No way.
Bursting from the seams. It'll be crazy.
Wild.
All right. Next season we are going to have a cast of guest hosts as well. They're all going to come in. I think I said this last year too. We're going to have some guest hosts.
We're going to have guest hosts.
9 guest hosts will cycle through for the awards. Every award we should have presented by our guests. That would be interesting.
That'd be crazy.
Have them film a segment.
That would actually honestly be pretty fun. Yeah. We could do that. I think I said the exact same thing last year too. But yeah.
Or somehow an award that the guests can win, and then we show their live reaction video of them in the audience.
And we can have Sean Murray, and we can have Sean Murray who's literally drinking, and he just is like, oh shit, I thought Fortnite was gonna win, which is like one of the best moments I've ever seen. Yeah. I don't know if we really talked about that during the Game Awards, but that was actually one of my favorite things that happened during that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Click that subscribe button.
Back at home.
So you subscribe. You hit the notification bell so you get notified of when we are going when we're going live. When we've got a new video that's coming.
We're gonna live
coming
stream
up.
The next awards show.
That would be fun.
Do it live.
That would be insanity. I think. I don't know if how I feel about that. But
subscribe to the podcast feed.
You can also, and you can also subscribe to us. Follow our feed on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
I think I got it right. Hey.
All right. Okay. Take care.